ที่รักแบตเตอรี่หมดนะ Never mind, she's a young girl. She don't understand so much. And as I say, they don't think so much. They think from today, tomorrow. I don't understand how she can be jealous of the old guy like me. I don't do anything. I have never been together with her.
So she's in love, maybe?
She is.
Not maybe, of course.
That's for sure. She is. And I have tried to explain it to her, to find a guy who maybe is a little bit older than her, but no. Say, but I'm gonna die about 20 years, never mind. She don't care about it.
What do you think it will happen if you marry her? When you die, what will be with her?
Oh, I will take care of her. It's for sure. In the case of I will marry her. Let us say I will marry her. Then I will be sure, I will be secure her life. For sure. When I was 15, I was going from my home. And I was starting in a small coaster, what you call, that was a little cargo ship with about 200 ton cargo, really small. And I was staying in that ship, and it was the captain. He was a nice guy, and I had a hell of a lot of problem with my father. And I was going and sailing, and the captain took care of me. Teach me, and then I get, what you can say, addicted to see something new thing. Not to only thinking about Denmark, to stay home. Then I began to like to explore the world. And then when I get 16, I was finished with that coaster, and the captain, he was helping me to go in seaman school. And then I was going seaman school to learn to be seaman, real seaman. And that's how it started. And I was six months in seaman school and learned everything about ships and navigation and like that. And then I took one another coaster, a little coaster, but I was only few months, and then I ran away from that one. And then I was starting in the big, I was going to the Seaman Union, and they were sending me to Trieste to a tanker ship, Danish Esso. And that was the first time I had the experience to go far away from Europe and to see India people, African, Arabs. And then you get addicted to the life, I believe. But then you have the experience in India. I was sailing there in a half year, and I was also falling in love there. She was also a fantastic, beautiful girl. And she gave me a gonorrhea 3 times. That was also a funny story, you know. I was I was meeting her in this whorehouse, and I was really falling in love with her. And we were staying there 3 days, and then we was going back to Arab. It took 14 days. Then we come back to Bombay in India with oil again. And in that time, I already had 1 gonorrhea. And the chief mate, he was giving me injection, so it was gone. so I was okay. And the first thing I did was running up to the same girl again and get one more. And I did that 3 times. I, I remember this chief mate, he was so angry at me that he wanted to send me home to Denmark. Number 3 time when I knock on his door and say, it's hurt like hell. I was just before he sent me home, for sure. But it was cured, so. And then we was begin to sailing in the Far East. And we were sailing in Indonesia. We get oil from Indonesia, Singapore, to Japan. And I was sailing that trip there, it was about 1 year. And then we was coming to Koh Tao in Thailand. And that was the first time I met a Thai girl. And I was really falling in love. Right? Just before I was running away from the ship. Yeah, I was not so old. I was only, what was I, 17? Gonna be 17, yeah. And in love, it was just before I jump into the water and swimming into the sea and stay with her for my rest of my life. That was my dream. I was really, 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 really falling in love. And she was fantastic. A beautiful girl. And she was go-go dancer. And I would have been, that time when I met her, I think I was 17. And she had been 14, 15, something like that, in that time. Very beautiful. And she was also loving me so much, so much, so much. And when they come out in Kano, you know, and that time they didn't go in pants, they go in sarong. They didn't use that. Not like today, cowboy pants and like that. That time it was only sarong, clothes in here. It's fantastic. Very beautiful. I never forget it. That was a dream life. It was. And then we was going ashore, finish the ship, stay down here in Klong Toi, Talia Kong Toi, and was experienced the war from Vietnam, Cambodia. And we had the same problem like we have now with visa. We have to go out from the country. In the beginning, we go to Laos with the cano over the Mekong River. And that was before Laos was becoming a military state. That time it was a kingdom. And the American wasn't begin to bombing in Laos that time. That was after that time they was begin. This must have been in 1973 where we started. And that time I get married in 1973. And then we were 30 guys staying here, 30 Danish seamen. Everyone married. Everyone falling in love with a Thai girl. Like I say, it was dream life already that time. Fantastic. And what we did, it was, we was living a kind of, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. We was, I think we was the last sea robbers. We didn't get so much money in salary. So to have money enough, then we used to take something from the cargo and sell it. That was a way to survive, I would say. And big shipping company, they have a lot of money and they was underpaying us. So you have to take what you're gonna take by yourself. And we did that. It was, what do you say, an interesting life in some way. We was robbers. No, you can't call it robbers. We were stealing from the cargo. And then we were selling it on the black market here in Bangkok and get a little money to take care of our wives. And none of us have any children, so, and we was living a hard life with a lot of drinking, drugs. At that time, it wasn't against the law. You could smoke everything what you want to. So, and then we was have some experience to see what the Americans did in Vietnam and in Cambodia. And after that, then we had a big fight with them. They never come to the waterfront. That was belongs to the Danish seamen. And the platform, that was where all the GIs was coming. And sometimes we was hitting into each other and have a big fight. But that was fun too. Like, we didn't run away from anything. We wasn't scared. It was, I don't know what you can say is a fantasy life. You want something to happen. Something must happen. I don't know what the name is in English. It's, what do you call it? I don't know the words for it. It's, you want to explore, see, touch, and feel how it is, the real life. I think it's the same like the gang you have today from young people who go against each other, like the football gangs and like that, from Manchester to United, and they are fighting or something like that. We had the same experience. The difference was we were seamen, and that is a hard life. It's a tough life. Every port, hookers, cheese, murders, killers. Every harbor, you know, that's the dirtiest place in every city. Every harbor quarter, you see the bars and the hookers and the gang. And so it's make you a kind of hard person. If you want to survive in what do you call it? In an environment like that. It's a hard, but also a funny, exciting life. And all of us, we was like that. Young people who want to see something new. I think like yourself, want to go around the world and see. That time it was just different from today. Today, the world has been changed so much in 30 years that it's not the same. You can't experience the same thing today like we did. Everything is quick and technology today. At that time, it was more natural. You don't see a canoe today. You don't see the girls in sarong crumpling up on of a rope to the ship, to coming up and meet you on the ship and like that. Fantastic. It's like the old story when you see from Holland, when the sailing ship was coming out to the Caribbean, when the girls coming up from in the sailing ship. It was the same kind of experience we had. It was a nice life.
You came to Thailand on 73, then you stayed here
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah. And then I had to run away. It means, as I told you, we were smoking heroin, and I get caught by the police. And I was in jail with the, what do you call it, links on your foot and chains on your foot. And that is really old-fashioned. It's like 1700 in Europe, something like that. And I get out in bail, so I didn't get my sentence. I was out in bail in 8 months before I go to court. And then I had some connection, and they was telling me that I will get about 35 years in jail. So I was running to Malaysia, over from Suntai Kulok to Malaysia, and from Malaysia, without paper, I did go to the embassy, Danish embassy in Malaysia, and get a new passport, and then I fly to Denmark. And then I changed my name and stayed 20 years in Denmark. Not only in Denmark, I was sailing out from Denmark, but I didn't come back to Thailand. I was staying 20 years away from Thailand. And for 8 years ago, I was coming back and stopped sailing. And now I'm retirement, so now I can enjoy the life again with a new name.
So that's your third name.
Yeah.
So you married a Thai girl and then you moved to one small village.
Then I was in those 8 years. I can tell you, we didn't concern that time to learn to speak Thai. We just speak English. We wasn't really concerned to learn the language. We was young. We was wild. It was a motorcycle. It was fun. It was drugs. It was, and we didn't thinking about so much about to learn the language and anything. So when I was coming back, I met one of my old friends, and that is amazing story. I haven't seen him. I haven't even read a letter to him in 20 years. I have been away from Thailand. And when I come back for 8 years ago, I was going down to the same street I was for 20 years ago and met his father. And his father hasn't forget my face. Even he hasn't forget my name. And he called his son. 1 hour after, his son was coming. And when I knew him that time, he only had one small room with a wife and a little kid. And when I was coming back, he had a big house with 2 Mercedes-Benz today, and he's a really rich man. And he has 2 kids now. And a wife from Chang Mai. And it was amazing that when we see each other again, and we was happy to meet each other again, and he said, Calle, this is your home. My home is your home. And I was staying together with him in 1 year. And then I started to learn Thai. And he was trying to teach me Thai. And then I met my wife, my common wife. And we were staying 2 years together before we get married. And then I moved up country. After 1 year, I moved up country.
Can you describe the place where you're staying now?
Huh?
Can you describe the place where you are staying now? The
How?
village.
Up country?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was coming there for 8 years ago, it was only, we didn't have any roads. It was only earth. with a little track up to the village. Today it is concrete, and you have a really road, and we also have electricity. 8 years ago, they didn't have electricity. All that is coming in the last 8 years. They have made new roads. We have electricity today, and we didn't have any water. We only get water when it was raining season, and we kept it in big clay tanks. And that was drinking water, and also the water you was washing in. And then I was trying to dig a hole in the ground to get water. And that the Thai people was helping me. We dig a hole 14 meters deep, and they do it by hand. 14 meters deep down in the ground. And then the water was coming up, and I was buying a pump. And I was the only one who had a pump in the village, in my house. So but I couldn't drink that water. It was only to showers. And we were still drinking the water from the raining season. And today we have government water. So the roads, electricity, and government water, it is coming in the last 8 years. And then I built the house that is, the low floor is from stone, and the top floor is from wood. And then I dig a big water hole, 10 by 10 meters, where I growing fish. Yeah. And then I grow banana and mangoes, and coconut, and enjoy the life. And then I found out my wife, she was cheating at me, together with the police officer in the village. Because at that time, I was only staying here 6 months at a time. And then I was going back to Denmark 6 months and coming out here 6 months. So that 6 months I was staying in Denmark, she was staying together with this police guy. And I found out of that. And I had my child already. And I was really scared because I was white man, but I was speaking Thai. And I didn't know so much about the Thai law. So I was scared I was losing the case because I go to the judge for divorce my wife. So I was cheating on her in some way. I was telling her I want to take my son to Denmark for holiday. So before I go and divorce, I was asking her to let him go to Denmark only for holiday. And I took him to Denmark, and when we was in Denmark, I had already told a lawyer here in Thailand to contact her for divorce. And then I let my son stay in Denmark 10 months, and I was coming out here alone. And let my family in Denmark take care of my son. And I was going to court in Pitsenalok because I was thinking if I lose and she get the right to the child, I will never bring him back to Thailand. I will keep him in Denmark. But when I was in the court and I was winning the case, and my house and the land, the judge was giving that to my child, the name of my child, so I could take him back. So I took him back, and now we are living up there, him and me, and the village, who I was saying 90% of the village is like my own family. And that is The most nicest family I ever had. They are more nice than my Danish family. And I wish to stay here the rest of my life. To die here is my wish. End of story. No, it is not the end. It's now let us see what what happened with.
What do you think it will happen?
I don't know really. My wish, if I should wish anything, for sure I would like a girl. Today I stay alone, take care of my son alone, do everything alone. I don't have any girlfriends or anything. I would like to have a wife. And if it is possible, and if she is what she is and want what she wants, then yes, I will marry her. And she will be my second child. Yeah, I will say that. I can't even think about her like my wife. I will say she is my second child.
You're gonna wait 5 years or you're gonna...
It's up to her. I will, for sure, I wouldn't touch her before. I wouldn't touch her before I have the allowance. No way. Then I will destroy my life from my own son. In case of somebody who's going to the police and say, this man, he have touched her, and then I will go in jail. I would never do that. So I will wait and let her take the decision. And if that is what she wants, I will give it to her. Yeah. It's up to her.